Good morning, Montreal. Good morning. This is my first time here, and what an incredible city. I've already emailed my assistant and said, can we extend my flight? I got to stay for longer. Thank you so much to Startupfest for giving us the opportunity to spend this summer day with all of these inspiring entrepreneurs and leaders in our industry. This has been already an incredibly educational day for me. I hope for you as well. I am the president and co-founder of a company called rewardStyle, and we created a technology platform that empowers digital lifestyle influencers to support themselves and their families through entrepreneurship. In early 2017, make sure I got it, I got a call asking if I would show a gentleman named Simon Sinek around the rewardStyle headquarters in Dallas, Texas. How many of you guys know Simon or have heard of his work? He's incredible. Again, another very inspiring human who just thinks very differently. You'll learn a little bit more about Simon if you don't know about him already. I was actually reading his book at the time. It was called Start with Why, one of his 4 books. And so I was just really excited about this serendipitous opportunity to get to talk shop with him. So when Simon got to our office, I told the team a little bit more about him. So he was the creator of what's called the Start With Why movement. You might have also seen him from his TED Talks. So he has actually one of the top 3 TED Talks in the world. You can find it on TED.com or on their app. Has about 40 million views. But Simon is unique in that he's what I would call like a practical sociologist. He really understands people and the human side of business and what drives behavior. After touring the office, we sat down in our conference room, and Simon asked a lot of questions about our business and the challenges that we were facing, and I was just thrilled to have this audience with him. And I talked, rambling, really, about all the different facets of our business and what we had created and all these incredible tools we had and how we were building this new industry and how I was so inspired and the success that we had seen. And in the back of my mind is playing, this guy has written this entire book that I'm reading about Start With Why, and I'm not getting to the why. But maybe if I keep talking, something will come out of my mouth where he's going to say, oh yeah, because that's your why. And I was waiting for that moment, just kind of kept talking, leaning in, watching him, and he's just kind of nodding his head, and that moment never came. Through the course of conversation, I realized that I had taken him through our fact sheet and shown him these incredible products we created and toured him through our beautiful headquarters and given him this great branded rewardStyle water bottle and some cool swag and shown him our bikes. And I had done all these things that were meant to convince him of why rewardStyle instead of why are we here. And I'd actually made that mistake a lot. We started our company about 7 years ago. And when I look back at the communication to our internal team and to our clients and to the press, it was so obvious to me why we were there. And we'll talk about our mission statement, but it was so obvious, in fact, that I thought it was too simple to share with people. And because of that, we had years and years of without ever kind of like bringing that to the forefront. Here's Simon's book. When he left that day, I was just on a high. I was so energized by having walked through our company. It's almost like you give yourself your own pep rally, and it was so cool to have him in the office. And I thought about all the things that we had just gone through that I named for you and all the reasons why this was like an incredible new kind of opportunity. I had taken Simon, what kind of personally felt like almost this marathon. Have you ever felt like that as like a founder where you're telling somebody all about your business and you've taken them here and you're explaining all these successes you had and you feel like you're this runner who's just so far ahead of the pack and you're looking back like no one's even around me, like I've clearly won this race, but I don't even see the finish line. Maybe you've had that in like a personal conversation or in a work conversation, maybe you're pitching somebody and you think, I totally nailed that, but like something kind of missing, like we didn't get to this finality. And I had taken Simon through this real maze of ideas, and I'd given him a million reasons why, but never distilled it down to the one simple why. as Simon left and the days passed, I kept thinking about how we never came to that singular moment. And I thought, as Simon tours the world and consults for these incredible businesses, like, will he remember us? And will he think of what he learned here today? And what would he say? Would he tell other people our why? How could I ever find out what he thought that our why was? And today, I want to explore the idea for you of finding your why. And as a founder, it's very easy to articulate what you do and how you do that thing, but do you and your team and your clients know why you do that thing? This is important because companies who live their why are more successful, because a modern consumer doesn't buy what you do, they buy why you do it. And my goal for you today is to leave here understanding and being armed with your own why. So here's a little bit about Simon's work. This is a chart that he's drawn, you can find online. And the theory is actually super simple. So it's that you should start right in the middle when you're talking to people. You should start with your why, and then go to how it is that you do that, and then what it is that you do. The thing, the reason that most of us don't actually communicate in this way is because we start with what's most self-evident to us, and then we talk our way into the more complicated subjects. And sometimes the more complicated things are actually, should be the most simple for your clients and those that you're communicating to. So the what is all super obvious to us. As entrepreneurs, we know exactly what we're doing. And a lot of times we get to share how it is that we do that thing, this great IP that we've created, this innovative technology. But like my conversation with Simon, we almost never get to the why. And this whole theory is not just something that Simon thought up. It actually is based on science and biology. And basically, there's two parts of your brain. You have the limbic brain and the rational brain. And the rational brain does the how and the what. But the limbic brain is responsible for really communicating with the why. And why this is important is that we actually make decisions based on our limbic brain. So that why, that gut feeling of, I know all this information, but I'm still going to choose that apartment, or I'm still going to hire this person despite knowing all these facts. Facts allow us to rationalize things, but they don't actually help us to ultimately make decisions. Innovative and inspiring companies start with the why. They think almost exactly opposite to everybody else. It's super simple in concept, but it's like a tool. It's like a hammer in your garage. If you're not using the hammer, it actually doesn't matter. You can know this, but you really actually have to apply it to your business. And when you think about your why, what is that cause or purpose that you believe in? Like, what's that inspiring or guiding belief for you or your company? When you start your business, your why is probably the very most clear. So this is actually just a shot from the Dallas Morning News. I'm based in Dallas, Texas, and when I launched a blog in 2010, it was a super novel idea. And in fact, they wanted to inform their audience what a blogger even was. And so they ran this full-page article called Meet the Blogger. And the whole story was this girl that you know from around town. She's had a jewelry line, she does personal shopping, she's a shop girl. If you're in the style world, you've heard of Amber. She's now offering all of her services online for free. So you no longer have to book an appointment with her for her to dress you for your vacation, because she's actually now posting 3 times a day and she's sharing all of that information with you now. Isn't this fantastic? When they said she's doing all of this for free, I kind of glanced over it because I was so excited to just have this, page in the newspaper. And within 6 months, it really hit me, yes, it is for free. This is not a marketing tool for my offline business that I thought it would be. It's actually not augmenting my income. It has completely cut me out of the revenue stream that I had established. And at the time, my then boyfriend and then now husband, Baxter, who's here today, we decided to partner together. His background is as an engineer, and he was getting his MBA. My background was completely in the fashion world, and so together we were going to be this dynamic duo that would bring the two worlds together to solve a real problem for people. And so at that time, we created a company called rewardStyle, and our why was very straightforward. We wanted to create a new industry around blogging so that me and my new blogger friends could support ourselves and our families by doing what we loved, blogging. I want to show you a video of our very first office in June of 2011 when we launched rewardStyle.
We're painting a painting, classified. Here's the kitchen, then bathroom, turn the light on. Really nice little bathroom. Hello. Here's our lounge room. It's really small, but it's fun. And that's it. That's all she wrote.
This video makes me emotional. Things were so simple. Isn't that how it always starts? It's like your why is so obvious. Like we were going to create this new industry. We were going to make it such that me and my friends could rent our own apartments from our own paychecks and buy our own clothes. And we had, taken this canvas out of my dad's house, a really ugly painting, and we'd bought the cheapest red and black paint that we could, and we're painting it. Sorry. You can tell I'm tied to our why a little bit. Like a bad preacher that just cries on stage. In 2011, it was super clear to us and our team what we were doing. There was 3 of us. And then we grew to 6 people. And then we grew to 12 people, and then to 30 people. And we decided that as a leadership team, we should go off-site for 2 days, and we should actually establish a mission statement, because we were going to have a handbook, because we were going to hire people, and we were going to onboard them, and we wanted them to know what we stood for and be able to scale our business. And so we took time, and we wrote out this mission statement. rewardStyle empowers the world's premium lifestyle influencers to achieve maximum economic success by providing an ecosystem of innovative technology, strategic growth consulting, and global partnership opportunities. We thought we were fantastic communicators because we had exactly who and exactly what we were going to do, and it all needed to fit into those 3 buckets. And every single meeting opened with our mission statement. Everyone in the company knew the mission statement. What you'll notice about the way this is structured is we have our what, so we're empowering these world's premium digital lifestyle influencers. And then we have the how, through technology, through consulting, and through these brand partnerships. But the whole purpose of having a mission statement is so that everyone's aligned to your why. And the thing that we never realized was missing here was the why. It was going to be pretty hard for anybody who joined the company past 2012 to really understand what we were doing. Over the next several years, we grew. We raised a Series A after 4 years of business, of bootstrapping ourselves. We grew to about 250 team members across 7 offices in 4 countries. We hired a people team, or HR. We hit $1 billion in retail sales. We launched a consumer app. That app actually hit 1 million users in 9 months, which was faster than Facebook, Twitter, Tumblr, or Pinterest, according to Business Insider. As you might imagine, the how and the what became very, very clear to everyone on the team. They were starting every meeting with this mission statement. Everyone knew it. But what got really foggy was the why. And my fear, I think, has come true, that any team that joined after 2012 was very unclear as to why we were coming to work. I think this story is similar to many companies, which is you have this really clear reason for starting a business. You launch, your team grows, you have success, you take investment, you start really focusing on the goals and objectives and priorities and the metrics, and that's all you talk about. And it's all you talk about internally, and it's all you talk about externally. And people show up at work to collect their paycheck instead of showing up to really push forward your why. Nolifer, who's one of our speakers here, really brought this full circle for me today when she said there's a movie called Out of Africa where the woman says, "Build a fire so I can find you." And after 7 years of our company, it has become obvious to me that we've now moved into this stage where new customers, while they can, internal customers, our team, they can recite our mission statement and they know their goals and their key objectives. Do they really understand that they're showing up every day to help people to quit their jobs and do what they love and to support themselves and their families? And so the stage we're in now is really building that fire so that they can find us. There's 3 things that I really want you to understand about the market today that impact this why statement. A lot of times when I'm invited to speak, people just want to hear about the influencer industry or about building a business or what it's like to have scaled to 250 people. This was a unique opportunity because it was much more about really an inspirational topic, but it's also something that's very practical and very real. So I don't want you to think today is all about kind of fluff and tears. The first thing is the reason that your why matters is the discretionary effort that you get from your team. So inspired teams that really understand and have bought into your why have higher morale, less turnover, and give more discretionary effort. The why is really this consideration of humanity, and that's a very inspiring thing for you and your team. So when you stop thinking about your customers as someone you can sell to, and you don't other them anymore, but you make it someone that you're actually partnering with to change something about society or to empower them in some way, it's a very fulfilling thing. And people show up and do much more than asked of them. It becomes less about collecting a check and more about pushing a mission forward, which is, of course, what you want for your team. When people are more fulfilled, they're happier, they stay longer in your company, there's less turnover. The next reason knowing and living your why is important is really competing in what I'd call a Me Too environment. In technology, while we have I think close to 20 patents. It still is really hard to compete from a technology perspective because it moves so quickly. So even if you're going to litigate based on IP, it's going to take years before you can actually come to a resolution. And there's so many companies that they see something happen in Montreal and they say, I'm going to do it in Dallas, Texas, for example. The example I want to give today is a company called Bumble, which started as a dating app. And Bumble was not first to the dating app game. For all intents and purposes, their functionality is the exact same as every other dating app. You swipe right, or you swipe left, and you use it to get a date or build a relationship, usually in a romantic way. Whitney has been on the cover of Forbes 30 Under 30. She's been on the podcast Masters of Scale. She has done everything that every entrepreneur hopes that they get to do. The New York Times writes about her, the Wall Street Journal writes about her, Forbes, Fortune, Inc. It's like editors absolutely love her and pour over her. And guys, she's doing something that has existed for over a decade, if not longer, that hundreds of other people do. It's the exact same thing. So you look at this and say, how is it that she is getting all of this coverage, that she has 40 million users? What's different about Bumble? And it's that they started with why. From day one, they started with why. A lot of times it started the way rewardStyle started, which is with a founder's story. There's a really clear reason why they want to start. And Whitney has a personal life story that brought her to Bumble and wanting to change the rules for women to even the playing field. But what's really unique about Bumble is the way that they actually live their why. And the things that they do become tangible proof of why they exist. So it's not just that they say it on a billboard, it's all of the things they do roll up to prove out their values. So 2 examples, their social media is hilarious, but they have an open letter to Dylan, and they actually shame men on the platform who are rude to women because their whole philosophy is this is a safe place for women, and it's a way to really level the playing field. They've also created places for women to network. So part of the Bumble app has expanded beyond dating and into lifestyle and to peer-to-peer and working relationships. And they live that value out by investing in things like the Bumble Hive in LA. And so they have programming there that helps women to connect with on a friendship level and on a business level. So they're doing things that are the tangible proof of their why. But people choose Bumble over other dating apps because it aligns with their values. The third thing is something that's not talked about much ever. I was able to find a few articles on it. And these are from Fortune, Forbes, and Inc., and it's all about the emotional toll of entrepreneurship. And much like being on a flight to Montreal, where it's put your own mask on before you help your child, it's much the same way in entrepreneurship. So while we give entrepreneurs hero status, we look up to the Mark Zuckerbergs and to the Elon Musk, and we have it on our bucket list to be on the Forbes 30 under 30 or to have an Inc. 500 company. These entrepreneurs go through traumatic events, and most times very alone, because they're not things that they can share with their friends or with their family, because they have to have a facade that things are maybe going better than they are on an everyday basis as the leader. They lose customers, they have disputes with their partners, either in business or in their romantic life. They have increased competition, people copying them, staffing problems, and all of these things are very emotionally taxing on the entrepreneur. And even once someone has made it, it doesn't end there. You look at Anthony Bourdain and the comments that he made about really feeling like he was on a hamster wheel and just unable to get off. So it doesn't end once you achieve success, it only continues further. And so one of the reasons that it's really important to find your why is to protect yourself as the entrepreneur and to be able to sustain. When we have the clear ability to see the importance of our work and how we're helping humanity and moving something forward, it helps us to move beyond these setbacks that come when an executive in your company, resigns, or when a competitor takes one of your key clients, or when things aren't going well at home. If your business can change the trajectory of somebody's life, what other positive thing could you be doing with your time? And the way to happiness is not to think internally about yourself, but it's actually to spend more time thinking about other people and how you can help them. So they tell a depressed person, go to CVS, go to the drugstore, buy somebody a gift, their favorite candy, whatever it is, and put it on their doorstep. The happiness that gives you by thinking about other people and thinking externally will far overcome anything that you can do spending time by yourself. So knowing your why is important for your own mental and emotional health as an entrepreneur. Everybody has a why. It's this purpose or cause or belief that inspires and motivates you that you can also share with your team. So whether you're at work or home, knowing your why helps you to make choices that will actually ultimately fulfill you. For rewardStyle, we're creating a new industry so that this entire generation of creative can actually support themselves and their families by doing what they love and create a career on their own terms. For Bumble, that's finding ways to change the rules and create environments for females to basically have equal opportunity. If you want to know your why, there's a recipe here, and it's we do blank so that blank. This theory is very simple, as we saw with Simon's Golden Circle, but it's actually also very hard. But remember, it's not what you do that matters, it's why you do it. And the what you do, just like Bumble, serves as a tangible proof of what you believe. As you heard today from me, the last 7 years have been a journey through finding our why, and it's something that develops and matures over time. And I would invite you to continue to follow along as we continue to mature through our journey. You can now actually pre-order our book on Amazon. It's called LIKEtoKNOW.it, Stories from the Influencer Next Door. And this book is a compilation of 100 stories of our clients from all over the world, all different family types and body types and skin colors and professional backgrounds who have actually leveraged the platform we've created in order to build the life that they love and really provide for themselves and their families. There are so many more resources to finding your why, and so I hope today that you've been inspired to dig a little bit deeper. I've referenced Simon's work, which is available through his website and his podcast. There's also tons of TED Talks about this. There's a book that I'm reading right now called Building a Story Brand. There's so many resources out there, and just continue reading. I really appreciate you guys coming today, and I hope that you think seriously about how you can apply your why to build a more successful business. Thank you.